Hey, welcome back to the conservative side. Hey, did you guys watch the presidential State of the Union the other night? I mean, absolutely. First of all, it was an amazing State of the Union. It shows all the progress that's been made to reverse the negative effects on America from the last administration. And it gives you a lot of hope for, prosperity in the near future. And that's the good part. But the Democrats, my God, they absolutely look like the party for the insane. Seriously. Let's roll tape. Let's see what I'm talking about.
9:34, and the reports that nearly half of the Democrats in Congress skipped the speech last night, boycotting the State of the Union address, and there are the names on the wall. Instead, holding several competing anti-Trump events, including one that was dubbed State of the Swamp with Robert De Niro and Mark Ruffalo and others, and several people wearing what appeared to be frog costumes.
Crazy. Absolutely insane. This is the party of the mentally ill. They need help. First of all, not attending the State of the Union, that right there by itself, in my opinion, is anti-American. Absolutely 100% anti-American.
I defy Trump.
How did this bozo become the centerpiece for the crazies and the left? This lady, she showed up during an ICE thing and got on there and said she doesn't usually curse. She's got the most annoying voice.
And his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
The state of our union is not strong. It is hanging by a thread.
Donald Trump, the Republicans, have made this country sicker, poorer, and less secure.
Absolutely not true. See, what I've noticed right now is the Democrats, they're like everywhere. It's well organized. And what they're doing is they're trying to make the voice of the small sound like it's the voice of everybody to influence you. It's a propaganda technique.
Sicker, poorer, and less secure.
Donald Trump doesn't owe us a 2-hour rambling speech. He owes the American people their money back.
Well, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is one Democrat who was in the chamber for the
One of the very few Democratic representatives I truly respect.
speech last night, and he joins us this morning. And thank you for your time, Senator. Always good to see you, and thank you for sharing your insights with us. You had about half your colleagues who chose not to go. That was their choice. You chose otherwise. What do you think of the decision they made?
It's just disappointing, honestly. I think that's sad that I think half of my colleagues didn't show up. I mean, that's not a judgment, but for me, it's like, so for me, I think show up. You don't have to clap for everything. You don't have to agree with anything. I think we're in a different place right now where it's now people not even going to show up or doing other kinds of alternative things. So for me, that's, I think so.
Wolverine here. If you're still watching the video, then you understand. This channel stands for no BS, no apologies, just real talk from the right. Hit that subscribe button, join the fight, let's keep winning.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think the State of the Union address has changed for good now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, now it's the constant kinds of yelling and screaming and holding up signs and for doing all these things. I don't care if it's a Republican or Democrat as a president. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Respect the office, regardless who's in that. And now for me, it's like now when half the people in my party haven't showed up, and then some of them have chosen to just yell and say and scream during all of it. I just don't think that's what we want. And I don't believe, as a Democrat, I think like dancing frogs really moves the ball for us as a party either.
Yeah, the only thing that does is it confirms that you're nuts. Our Congress, the Democrats are making it a lot like in the UK. the House of Commons. They sit there and scream. I don't know how you can get any productive conversations going in the House of Commons. It's really crazy. Have you ever seen it?
On that first point here, here's some of the moments. You had Ilhan Omar out of Minnesota, Rashida Tlaib out of Michigan, and just watch here for our audience.
That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
That exchange obviously went to immigration and enforcement and DHS funding. I saw an email thread last night where you shook the president's hand. I believe it was on the way in.
The Democrats, how spoiled little brats they are. Omar, this woman had come from Somalia to the United States and has been given the grace of this country and what it has to offer. She serves as a representative in the House of Congress. And this is how she shows her gratefulness. She robs the American people. She's robbing you. She's robbing you. She's robbing me. The nerve. Seriously. They need to deport this one. They need to get her out of the country as soon as possible. I hope they're doing an investigation, and I hope they get enough concrete evidence to get her kicked out of Congress, and then after that, put her on a jet, get her out of the United States.
When asked to stand for Americans or illegal immigrants, how the president phrased it last evening, this is how that went.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
And look, the entire Democratic side sitting down. Sitting down. That is a profound statement.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up.
So, Senator, to you, do you consider that a ploy as you look back on that 12 hours later? And if I may, did you sit or did you stand for that moment?
Well, for me, I never checked to see what the rest of people in my party would stand up and clap for. I clapped with a lot of those things that it seemed like others. Like I stood up and I clapped to recognize the family that lost their daughter, the Ukrainian girl that was stabbed to death, in North Carolina. And I stood up and I clapped that political prisoner from Venezuela, how you can't celebrate those kinds of things. And now I also celebrated all the veterans that were in the audience as well, too. And even more the political things like Erica Kirk. I stood up and I clapped for her as well, too. Now, here, can't we just be more kind to a widow? I mean, we just shouldn't be that long ago that a widow, with young children has her husband murdered, how we can't just acknowledge that as well, too. Wow. Whether white people would attack her, whether the left or the right either. So I'm always going to stand up and clap for things that I agreed with like striking the Iranian, sites now for me. I never worry about who's standing up or clapping. If I see it, I'm going to. If I don't agree with it or whatever, I'm certainly not going to yell and scream and disrupt the whole thing.
Well, I don't mean to speak for them, but I know they appreciate that and seeing that in the chamber.
So let me talk to you for just a second here. We really got to pull together here. United we stand, divided we fall. We have to pull together. In 250 days from today, which is February 26th, the time that I made this video, that's when we're holding our next election, the midterm elections, where we have a chance to voice our concerns and keep this winning train moving forward. We cannot allow the Democrats to regain any type of power. They belong in a mental institution. They do not belong in the House of Congress or the Senate, for that fact. 250 days from today, November 3rd, it's a Tuesday, Make sure you get out and vote, and make sure you tell everybody in your family and everybody else that they need to vote. All right, until next time, I'm Wolverine. Stand tall, stay proud, we're American. We'll see you next video.
On the conservative side.